been 23 years since Panama City Beach has been the target of a major hurricane. That was Opal. The storm surge from that hurricane reached across Front Beach Road and Thomas Drive.
Now, before that, in 1975, locals were hit by Eloise, which was also a devastating storm. We're being warned Hurricane Michael could be worse. Let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Smith with the latest on the storm's track. Chris?
I think it's certainly possible when it's all said and done that Michael is going to end up being the benchmark storm for our area as far as the worst storm ever.
We are concerned that the aftermath of the storm is going to present with horrible, horrible life safety issues.
Okay, Hurricane Michael continuing to move towards the northern Gulf Coast. We are less than 24 hours away from landfall of a major Category 3, almost a Category 4 hurricane as it moves towards the northern Gulf Coast. A very well-organized hurricane. You can see the outflow very well defined here. The showers and thunderstorms very healthy.
Hey Ron, as you can probably already tell, with the exception of a few cars passing through, it's a pretty quiet evening here in downtown Port St. Joe. So if you walk with me here, you can see some businesses have made precautions to board up. They even have some sandbags out here in case of storm surge.
When you talk about that storm surge, you have the normal sea level, then you have the storm surge because the wind's pushing that water up on the coastline, and that will continue to extend as high as 9 to 12 feet, and that's basically over the first story of a home.
Many people are staying put. Officers say they will do their best to reach anyone who needs help during and after the storm, but there may come a point when conditions become too dangerous for even officers and first responders to be out on the road, and they might not be able to come get you. That's why they are stressing there is still time to evacuate if you can.
I'm in downtown Apalachicola, right in front of tomorrow's Tapas Bar, and as you can see, tonight was supposed to be trivia night, but Hurricane Michael had other plans.
Not too many people staying. The Alacqua Animal Shelter has offloaded most of its animals, cats, dogs, pigs, horses, to anybody who's able to take them in. They're almost empty now. And we talked to the Walton County Sheriff's Department, who says things are quiet for them too. Everybody around here just waiting like we all are. In Walton County, Joel Sebastianelli, News Channel 7.
Well, the National Weather Service out of Tallahassee here this morning sent out a public advisory, and they named Hurricane Michael an unprecedented storm, something we've never seen in the Panhandle.
It's kind of quiet here right now. Doesn't mean the storm is quieted down, but things around here are kind of quiet. The only thing that they want to emphasize right now is that this is, as you guys have been saying all morning, a very dangerous storm.
Category 4 Hurricane Michael, latest advisory just coming out. 140-mile-per-hour winds with this system, northerly movement at 13 miles per hour, and the pressure continues to fall. Rain, flooding will be an issue. Flash flooding here, as we're expecting up to 5 to 10 inches widespread across the Panhandle. Even higher amounts than that could be expected. And there's even a small isolated tornadic risk with this storm system, basically from the Apalachicola River over towards the east, towards the Big Bend. So with more information on some of those impacts that we could see with this system, let's dive deeper with meteorologist Tyler Allender. Tyler?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. And this just in, a tornado watch has been issued from the National Weather Service. That includes everyone but Holmes, Walton, and Okaloosa County. So if you're in Washington, Bay, Jackson, Calhoun, Gulf, Franklin, and Liberty County, a tornado watch is in place through the afternoon.
Safety is the #1 priority. We've said all morning long that we can replace property, but we cannot replace your life.
Hi, good morning, Jessica. We actually took a moment to step outside. We wanted to show you the conditions because, to be honest, right now we just have some wind and some steady rain, but not strong rain. But that goes without saying that it's not going to be the case later today when the sun comes out.
Hey, Jessica. Well, we've been out here all morning since it was dark, and now it's starting to get a lot lighter, and we're able to actually show you guys what the conditions are like on here on the beach. You can see the waves are really starting to intensify. I mean, since we've been out here, they really have picked up.
Here at the Jackson County EOC in Marietta, where you can tell it has started raining, and the wind has just started to pick up just a few minutes ago. Wind is the big concern here in Jackson County, as you heard Ryan say. Even though we are inland, we will still feel those hurricane force winds up to 145 miles per hour. It is important to note that first responders will not be answering calls or going out on the roads when it hits 39 miles per hour sustained. That's for their own safety.
Hey, Jess, I'm in Destin right now. I don't really have anything else to add about the conditions. You can see it's going to be just about the same anywhere you go. A lot of rain, a lot of wind. What I can say, though, is I just talked to the Walton County's sheriff's office again, and the bridges are still open, but you're really running out of time there. Once the wind speeds hit 40 miles per hour, not even emergency vehicles will be permitted to cross.
That's right, we're over here in Franklin County, specifically in downtown Apalachicola, and News Channel 7's Gail Levy and I have been giving you updates out of Franklin County. As you might have noticed earlier this morning, we were standing on Water Street in downtown Apalachicola, and that is the road that lines the Apalachicola Bay, but because of the strong winds that are quickly picking up, and because of all the water that is coming from the bay onto the roadways, we decided to move inland back to at the hotel that we're staying at for now.
Ryan Michaels joining me now. And Ryan, we have been talking all week about this storm and just continuing to see it intensify and intensify. Honestly, unlike anything that I've ever seen before.
Right, yeah, ever since the birth of this storm system out into the Caribbean there, it did encounter some shear at the beginning. It was a little slow to get going, but once it did make it into the Gulf, we knew that conditions there were ripe for development as shear was going to be down, the warm waters, and it had from the southern Gulf all the way to the north, moving at a crawling pace of about 5, 6, 7 miles per hour. So plenty of time on its hands, plenty of environmental conditions that really have just led to this storm system blowing up into the major Category 4 hurricane that we have right now with 145-mile-per-hour winds.
Today we're expecting landfall probably closer to about 1 o'clock this afternoon. The eye now showing up on this view from our radar. Winds still sustained across most of northwest Florida, just below tropical storm force. But again, conditions will continue to deteriorate, and it's going to be in this eye wall down here that the worst of the conditions continue to move here into northwest Florida. You can see there it's collapsed, and the water undermining all these houses right here.
So folks, while this band works its way up on towards the coastline here, this is the time we hunker down, we get to the middle of our homes, we get to the middle of our places, and we stay there until we give the all clear that this has passed by.
Thanks a lot, you guys. Scott's actually out getting some more information. Actually, they had a press briefing at 11, and halfway during that press briefing, things are getting crazy out here as well in Southport, and our power got kicked off, and it kicked us off the air. The thrust of the meeting, Mark Bowen, who is the emergency management director here, was talking about stay inside right now, don't try at all to venture outside, and also he talked about what happens after the storm and how people need to stay where they are until they get word from emergency management officials that it is in fact safe to get back on the roads and back to your home.
Even in these outer bands, you see some of the more intense rainfall we're looking at is in that final outer band. We do have a little bit of a break after the eye wall. Then we see a little bit of, a little bit of a break in some of the rainfall. It's still going to be very, very windy, but we'll continue to even see back out here over across the Gulf of Mexico in that final band some very gusty winds before we finally give. What was that?
Roof just blessed.
Did it? Sounded like we lost a tree or something right out back. So anyway, as far as what we can all do, I want you to just stay in your safe place, an interior hallway, a bathroom, a closet. Treat this like it was a tornado warning. We were on the air telling you a tornado because this is going.
Okay, guys, we lost power. We're going into a central room.
Right now, the eye is now crossing over. Mexico Beach is in the eye wall, and Tyndall Air Force Base, Panama City, Parker getting the worst of it. You can actually see here at the TV station, we're on the very edge of the worst of the winds right now.
We are now in an interior room of the TV station. Jordan is holding the flashlight here.
Hi, guys.
Hi. We would recommend that you get into an interior room right now as well. That's going to be the safest place for you to be. Some of the worst is moving over us at this moment. We were on air live, and we took a power hit, and then our generators went down as well.
The worst of the weather now in Callaway, Panama City, Mexico Beach. y'all please be safe down there.
What would you call that? Like our storage, maintenance?
It's our old studio.
That's our old studio.
And it's now where we are basically use it for storage.
Do not take any chances. If this is the only way we can communicate with you, I am begging you to stay where you are. I've got all my reporters I'm telling them constantly to stay where they are. Do not try to go anywhere, go into that interior room until this is over.
This is probably going to be one of my last updates for a while due to safety. As you can see right now, we can barely make out what's going on outside because the wind is so hectic. You can see that power lines are swaying. This pole that I told you earlier was swaying. There are pieces of the roof that are, as you can see, there are pieces of our roof of the hotel flying off and flying down into the street. I'm going to show you a couple of other things. So we already have a leak inside right here, inside of our building. See the water is just overflowing. It's a bucket here, but apparently it's not enough.
Studio roof is still there partially, but there's water coming in. You know, most of it's there, but it's, you know, it's not good. I posted a video to my Facebook page. You could hear the water coming in, but as a whole, it's, you know, intact. It's just been peeled back. There's holes in it now.
Well, my friends, were kind of surveying the damage. Just pulled out of the station. This, by the way, isn't recommended at home. But we are being very cautious, and definitely don't do this once the sun goes down. But there's down power lines on Front Beach Road. Obviously, there's some trees down, you know, making it very hard to drive.
Seems like we've made it through the effects of Hurricane Michael. I'm just going to show you what we're looking at right now. It's got pretty unbelievable right now. We see people driving, and you know, it looks like it's a condition where people can kind of drive through the streets. But as you can see, there's a lot of power lines that are down. I have to step out the way right here.
Made the trip over to the Hathaway Bridge. You know, as soon as we got to Gulf Coast State College, we started seeing damage. Lots of structural damage, lots of trees and power lines down. Highway 390 is inaccessible once you go north of 23rd Street. It's impassable. If you're out of the area, and you're safe, you need to stay there. There's no water, or if you do have water, you have to boil it. There's no power.
Okay, and a good afternoon, everyone. Meteorologist Chris Smith, Ryan Michaels here. We're going to, in very limited form, try and pass along some information as best we can. We're as limited as you are, to be honest. We have crews that are out across the Panhandle. We're going to try and talk to them, and at least, even if you can't see what they're seeing, we'll do our best to go ahead and you know, let you know at least what they're seeing.
Right, so this is what you see all over. People trying to get through, you know, parked on the side of the road. We had to park about a block away just to kind of get to the street that I was on.
One of our producers, Mandy Seegers and Emily Kay. I'm gonna get this in front of the camera. I'll try and get it even. Where is that camera, Chris? All right, now they did like a video tour, and Emily, I'm just gonna have you kind of talk us through it as we roll this video.
Well, that's the Panama City Marina. As far as damage goes, a lot of the boats had been overturned on top of each other.
And again, we have limited functioning in our control room, so this is how we have to show videos to you. We apologize, but we're not able to download them to our system.
And he was relieved when I said cooler weather's coming, because he said he was chainsawing, so he was walking around with no shirt on.
Michael McLaughlin.
Can you spell it?
MICHAEL MCLAUGHLIN.
Michael, you rode out the storm here in Lynn Haven.
Yes, sir.
Just tell your storm story.